Enemies have surrounded the Duttons in 1923. With every escape route being shut off, how will the Duttons free themselves from their enemies? It's life versus death for the Duttons right now, and their foes aren't making things easier for them. Can the Duttons survive? Let's find out. What do we know about 1923 so far? 1923 begins with the Duttons receiving threats from their enemies. Harrison Ford portrays Jacob Dutton, along with Helen Mirren playing the role of Cara Dutton, as they run Yellowstone Ranch following the transfer of the ranch to their name. The Montana Livestock Association is directed by Jacob, who devotes all his effort to defending rancher rights. On the other hand, Cara not only takes care of the ranch, but is also tasked with the upbringing of the Dutton children. The couple knows full well their ranch protection mission will face challenges because enemies are lurking close by. Donald Whitfield heads the main enemy faction that intends to seize the Dutton family ranch and then forcibly claim all their possessions. Banner Creighton teams up with Donald Whitfield because throughout history he's had quite the enmity with the Duttons. Bloodshed and violence are a norm amongst the common folk. When Banner's soldiers marched to fight inside Jacob's dwelling, he joined them during the confrontation. The assailants seriously wound John Dutton Sr. and Jacob before taking John's life mercilessly. This is a big blow to the Duttons. Through her grit, Cara Dutton protects the Dutton family from remaining attacks. After Jacob recovers from his wounds, Cara leads the ranch's defense while making sure everyone is prepared for future threats. Spencer starts his dangerous trip back to Montana after learning about his family emergency. It is a journey that's full of dangerous obstacles. Time and harsh natural conditions become additional threats in Spencer's journey. Due to the most powerful threat yet, the Dutton Ranch faces its ultimate challenge. A more stern test awaits in Season 2 because the Duttons are one wrong move away from losing everything. The Duttons are busy with their war while Tiona Rainwater faces a battle of her own. Her abusive experience at the Catholic boarding school has left her traumatized. Tiona makes the choice to remain patient despite her circumstances. In a desperate attempt for liberation, she chooses to eliminate 2 of her assailants and flees toward wilderness survival. She survives because her family undertakes dangerous efforts to reach her before anyone else can get to her. Whitfield and Creighton make their way toward the ranch and try to destroy everything the Duttons have built. This is all happening while Cara is finding it difficult to manage ranch operations and as Jacob's condition takes a hit. Even if the Duttons try, they can't get rid of all their problems at once. All their moves need to be carefully executed as the second season progresses. The Land at Risk. The latest 1923 trailer, released in January of this year, teases the high-stakes conflict ahead. Cara proves she's as formidable as ever, taking aim at intruders and declaring, "Any prize worth claiming demands a battle." This fierce determination sets the tone for the season. Previous teasers already hinted at the show's 2 central storylines: Spencer's perilous journey back to Montana and the growing threats against the Dutton Ranch, forcing Jacob and Cara to realize that their enemies have them pegged back. The second season of 1923 will escalate the struggles experienced by the members of the Dutton family, according to official show descriptions. Excessive winter confronts the Dutton family, while external forces attempt to destroy their inherited properties. Spencer recognizes that protecting his family requires him to make a dangerous journey back to Montana, where he must hurry to face these threatening enemies. During the voyage to America, Alexandra leaves behind everything in pursuit of Spencer and her wish to restore their special bond. The latest trailer for the second season reveals key details about the main storyline while staying true to the familiar path Yellowstone has taken so far. Wealthy elites, led by Timothy Dalton, playing villain Donald Whitfield, seek to obtain the Dutton Ranch while laying plans to transform Montana into a luxurious resort for rich people to inhabit. The Duttons are against this idea, but Whitfield will go at it tooth and nail to make it happen. In the first season, Whitfield assisted Banner Creighton, but now the 1923 Season 2 reveals him as the show's main antagonist. This advancement creates conditions for another intense competition regarding land control. And one thing is for sure, Whitfield isn't going to let the Duttons off the hook so easily. A mystery remains about Season 2 because viewers want to know if the plot will extend beyond 1923. The initial season operated within 1923, but future timeline information for the following season remains undisclosed at this time. The timeline will probably stretch down the years between 1923 and 1924 because Season 1 spanned numerous months alongside the prolonged duration of Spencer's return to Montana. As 1923 prepares to return, the Dutton family faces mounting obstacles that threaten to dismantle everything they have fought to protect. With betrayals, brutal winters, and dangerous adversaries closing in, the stage is set for an intense continuation of their struggle to maintain control over the Yellowstone Ranch. Will the Dutton family succeed in doing so, or will their plans to expand control be foiled by their enemies? The second season so far. The third episode of 1923 Season 2, titled Wrap Thee in Terror, opens with a glimmer of hope after a brutal blizzard. Jacob Dutton and his frostbitten crew have survived the night in the Montana wilderness. Though Zane can barely walk, the horses are missing, and the children face the risk of freezing, they take comfort in the fact that they are alive and safe from gunfire or wild animals. At the Dutton Ranch, Kara faces her own harsh reality. The rabid wolf she slayed hangs outside, and the remains of the nurse it attacked are being taken away by the doctor. In the midst of this, she forcefully snaps Elizabeth out of her hysteria as the young woman still resists the rabies injections needed to save her life. It's a grim reminder that survival on the frontier requires both physical and emotional strength. Meanwhile, Alex's journey takes her to New York. But before she can reunite with Spencer, she must endure the harsh process at Ellis Island. What should be a routine immigration screening turns into a nightmare as she faces humiliation and abuse from officials who have no patience for her British charm. It is here when Alex is insulted, subjected to an invasive medical exam, and branded as pregnant, a revelation that, without a marriage license, threatens her entry into America. When a corrupt official implies she could secure her passage through sexual favors, Alex refuses to comply. It's only Alex's love for Spencer that makes her cross borders and attempt to reunite with her lover. Despite the cruelty she experiences, Alex finds rare moments of kindness. A newspaper stand worker sells her a map and warns her of pickpockets, and a train station ticket clerk offers safe travel advice. These small but genuine gestures highlight the contrast between those who abuse their power and those who extend compassion. It also reflects the difference between the working class and the elites. Alex, having seen both sides of the coin, continues her search for Spencer. In Texas, Tiona's father tracks his daughter and Pete to a ranch. The head cowboy, surprisingly welcome, allows them to stay in exchange for help finding lost cattle, even offering a hot meal. A brief moment of peace for the group. However, danger still looms as Marshall Kent and Father Renault, responsible for massacring young Comanche, remain on Tiona's trail. Marshal Mamie Fawcett investigates the scene of the murders, and the victims' families vow to take justice into their own hands if they find the killers first. Yet another controversy that becomes part of the storyline. Back at the ranch, Kara's fear eases when Jacob's group finally returns home. However, there's no time to celebrate. Zane has a serious brain injury, and the doctor must perform emergency surgery with a drill but no anesthesia. Meanwhile, Jack finds Elizabeth packing for Boston, determined to leave whether he joins her or not. A resolve that hardens further when Kara administers yet another painful rabies injection. The episode ends in Texas with Spencer, who abandons his liquor smuggling mission when a police roadblock threatens his safety. As he flees, his friend Luca is gunned down. At the same time, Alex, hopeful yet anxious, writes Spencer a letter promising to be with him soon. Unaware that danger is already closing in, a shadowy man follows her into a train station restroom. And as the screen fades to black, the sense of impending doom lingers. What do you think will happen in the upcoming episode of 1923? Let us know below in the comments.